Oi, oi. It's that time again. Inside Portstewart Part 2 is going to follow this short wee sort of introduction. In Part 2, I just sort of followed the month of July at Portstewart and what went on. We've got a wee bit of pre-season, a wee bit of background there. And we've got other things that are going on at the club, other things that people don't know about, other things that some people might not want to know about or might want to go public. But the truth of the matter is this is what's going on. And it's up to us at Portstewart to try and, get through all the different things that are going on as a club. Finish off on a light note as well with the launch of the league up in Belfast. And again, look, I said it in the first one, I'll say it again, I'm not Spielberg. My editing skills are alright. I'm doing voiceovers in this one, and I don't have the voice of a Jimmy Nesbitt or any of them boys. So look, it's amateur hour, but it's informative, and I just want to try and continue the journey and just show what all goes on at this level of football in Northern Ireland through the eyes of somebody who's going through it with the guys at the club, somebody who's getting heavily involved. Family, wife's cracking up with me because I'm never away from the place at the minute, but that's one of the things that happens. And talking to committee members, whenever I say to them the wife's cracking up, they look at me and they're like, yeah, we know, because it's happened to all of them throughout their sort of time at the club. So look, we continue, and after this one the real action starts next month. Irish Cup action, League Cup action. It's just going to be all action, as well as more behind the scenes stuff and what's going on and what we're trying to do. So enjoy. The month of July is all about getting players fit, integrating new players into the club, getting out in the pitch and getting minutes in the legs. Portstewart's pre-season fixture schedule commenced with a Friday evening fixture against Nifl Championship promotion contenders Harlan and Wolf Welders. The Welders would come away with a 1-0 victory, courtesy of a Johnny Fraser goal. Pre-season continued the following day, where Portstewart made the short trip to Ballymoney, where they faced Intermediate League team Dunloy. The match finished 1-1, with Portstewart's goal coming from Corey Doherty. games continued with a match at Mullaghcall against another championship side, this time Ballymallard. Another new signing, Paul Smith, opened his account for the Seahawks as the home side ran out 4-2 victors in a highly entertaining game. A double header against intermediate league teams Killymoon Rangers and Cookstown Youth heralded 15 goals in total, with Killymoon running out 3-2 victors in one game and Portstewart winning 9-1 to the Youth. Pre-season finished with the annual Wes Gregg Memorial Game where Coleraine ran out 5-1 victors. However, the scoreline was harsh on Portstewart, who were undone by a couple of errors and moments of magic from the experienced Coleraine attack.
Just the usual pre-season about getting game time minutes and as many people as we can, and then obviously when you plan it, you plan for games that you think you'll do really well on. You plan for games that are going to be extremely tough, which is certainly that, and I thought every game was really worthwhile. The training sessions up until now have been brilliant in relation to the effort and commitment that's been put on by every player. The downside of it, we've probably 4 players that got injured during pre-season. 2 of them are 6-week jobs, and the other 2 will be probably a fortnight. So that's something you have to deal with. You have to deal with it through the season. As says to the boys during the games, that we have to adapt when people aren't there or they're injured. You just get on with it and you play to try and win games. But football-wise, it's been really eye-opening for me. All the new players that come in have fit on really well, and just it's as if they've been part of the squad for a long time, and it's just a matter of building that now and making sure we're ready for the 12th of August for the Irish Cup game.
Bobby, it's your first full pre-season in a few years. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. A wee bit rough at the start, but getting there. It hasn't been the best. Lads are working hard.
Who have you been most impressed by in pre-season?
Glenn's been working hard.
And what about the new boys that have come in, Paul and...
I thought that they fit in well, so they do. Good players, both good players.
Saturday morning, we're in the middle of pre-season and I'm lying in my bed. You get a message in the committee group. We need some help down here. I'm down here hosing out friggin' subs benches, honestly. I really want to get into the depths of what's involved in the running of a club, and every day that anything happens, I'm getting my eyes opened, you probably can't see me here, to different wee things that are just taken for granted. The players just turn up and they go and play a game. The fans turn up and they watch the game. But the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, simple things like changing rooms, like I'm now hosting out changing rooms at 9:30 on a Saturday morning, and I'm in here hosting out a dugout. I never thought I'd be doing this. So, as I was saying earlier there, I wasn't planning on coming down to the club today, but I got a message early in the morning in the committee group, we need more hands. So I came down. This is the night after Killymoon friendly, and it's a double header, so Coleraine or Portstewart are playing Cookstown Youth today. The grass was really long last night and there was a few complaints that it it was endangering players, so they've had to cut it this morning and the ground's soaking. But because they're cutting the grass, they couldn't do the other things. And when I say there's two people. So, whilst the two amigos out there were doing the pitch, I've come down and I've actually done, I've never done this in my life before. I've came down and brushed and hosed out the changing rooms. Anyway, that's my job done for the day, but people don't see this, honest to God. I'm going to keep on drumming this the whole way through it. Clubs in this level, more than any other level, need volunteers. They need people who are prepared to come out and do a bit of manual labour to help the clubs. The people who do this here down here, one of them's in his late 50s, one of them's in his 70s. And this is happening all over the country. And I did cover that a wee bit in the first video, but I'm seeing it again here. And it's not just that there. We've got this here. This here just looks like wasteland. This is the back of the club. And there's not the manpower or money to tidy this absolute mess up at the minute. And then you've got this here. You don't see this. This is a massive area of absolute wasteland. It's a big area. And in an ideal world, that area is Portstewart's training pitch, where Portstewart can train 3G surface, the academy, Portstewart Academy, which we will cover in a video, would be able to train there. Money would be able to come into the club through the facilities. Instead, Portstewart's first team have to pay rental on a 3G surface in Korean. They get half a pitch. We'll cover that in another video. The academy teams all have to rent places in Korean. Portstewart does not have any training facilities of any type. We've got this big massive wasteland here. We don't have the money. Portstewart does not have the money to develop that land. The IFA don't have any grants to develop that land. There's no grants at all. There's no money in football in Northern Ireland. So it's just madness. Anyway, back to the sort of real thing here before I head. The two guys are out there and they've been down here since 9 o'clock. It's Saturday morning. They've been down since 9 o'clock, cutting the grass, lining the pitch, doing everything you have to do. And they're still doing it, and the time now is, I don't have my watch on me, but it's nearly 12 o'clock. It takes around 3 hours to cut this grass, and because it's so wet, they're having to go over it, cut it, go over it again and try and lift the grass. It's just like, it's long work. I say they have to line the pitch, and because it's so wet down here, they have to double line it, they have to line it over again. And that's what's going on before a match. Super Cup NI, formerly the Milk Cup, came to town in the last week of July. There were 5 games hosted at Mullock Recall, with Finn Harps, Celtic, Counties Derry / London Derry, Antrim, Down, Armagh and English Premier League team Newcastle all having fixtures at our venue. Around 3,000 people made their way through the gates at Seahaven and Portstewart throughout the course of the Super Cup week. This let us see where the pitch was at after the renovation that was carried out back in June. The Super Cup week is a very important week for Portstewart because it allows us to showcase our facilities to a wider audience. It also leads us to question why these crowds cannot attend games in Northern Ireland, which are happening throughout the course of a Nifl League season. We also have to say a massive well done to our very own academy team who won the minor V's final at the Super Cup. This is the first time a Portstewart team has competed at the Super Cup, and for them to win a trophy is unbelievable for the town and for the club and for the academy. One of the requisites to gain a licence to compete in the Nifl is that your ground is up to spec. Our main stand, with a capacity of 250, was erected in 2009 in conjunction with Sport NI. A structural certificate is issued to the club, which then in turn helps to satisfy the criteria with Nifl. The most recent survey has provided headaches. The main stand has deteriorated a lot faster than it should have. It's safe, but the following recommendations have been made to prevent the stand falling into disrepair. Parts of the stand are showing signs of corrosion, and this should be addressed. This has been exacerbated by the coastal location of the ground. It's recommended that in the near future the steelwork within the stand is cleaned down and repaired as necessary. A marine grade paint, as recommended by a specialist paint supplier, should be used. We are reviewing this information and obtaining quotes for the repair works to take place. It will be a long autumn and winter at Portstewart FC and many other clubs. They continue to require help from the local communities just to stay afloat. On a lighter note, the launch of the Player Fit Premier Intermediate League took place at Windsor Park, Belfast. Nifl CEO Jared Lawler and the new sponsors Player Fit addressed the clubs. Myself and first team player Michael Stewart represented the Seahawks. Enjoy.
Thank you, Ian. I have to say, Kieran, I don't know about you, it's the first time I've ever been called a dignitary. So thanks for that, Ian. Look guys, all we really want to say to you tonight is thank you for coming. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to get the content that we require to promote you as clubs as we try to go into this new campaign, which I suppose at this time of year for clubs is about excitement. Every one of you has dreams. Even Barry Gray might be a bit cheerful at this time of the year that we might achieve something, we might progress. But these are two leagues that, and I think I said it last year, they're often forgot about, they're often pushed to the side in a lot of cases throughout football in Northern Ireland. But they're two very vital leagues. They're leagues that clubs must have aspirations to get to the Premier League. And I know that can sound a little bit crazy, but if we don't have aspirations to go to that promised land, are we just really here to make up the numbers. So we must have a dream, we must have a belief, and we must strive to try and get there to where we want to go. That's not easy. We're fully aware of that in my team in Nifl, and hence why we spent a lot of time yesterday with club administrators, with board members, probably from your clubs, to try and talk through pathways about how we can develop that. Someone said to me earlier, you know, is the PIL going to get thrown away? No, the PIL is never going to be dumped, thrown away, or whatever. I can't remember the exact term. No, it isn't, because the PIL is the feeder to the Championship, to the Premier League, and that's where the journey for those players live. Yes, there could be a reorganisation of the pyramid of football in Northern Ireland, and we will look at that with the IFA, but in the coming years, these two leagues are vital. Use of the bread and butter, I think, is the term I used last year, of what Nifl is about. The one thing that we have did for this league, or both leagues this year, and it's great that we have a new title sponsor, and I've intentionally left them to the end. As we went out and we thought, we need to improve it, we need to make things better, we need to become more professional, and I'm absolutely delighted and thankful to Kieran Quinn from Player Fit. Kieran, I know we sort of came at you as a curveball at the very end, but you listened to Ian, you took the plan on board. Hopefully we can grow your business as much as we can grow ours, and on behalf of everyone here and the clubs in these leagues, thank you very much for your commitment, and we really hope and we'll do our absolute best that we can deliver for you, to grow your business, to grow our leagues, to grow the product that we have that is very, very, the second, let's remember, the second oldest league, football league in the world. The Scots try to fight with us, but we're still claiming it. We have a very proud and traditional heritage within football in Northern Ireland, and we will do everything within our power to try and deliver for you. So look, I had a speech written, I can't remember, I haven't said a word of what I've written down. You don't want to listen to me, but look, all the very best to everyone, and good luck, guys.
A bit about us, we see ourselves as an alternative to the bigger brands in this world. Everything we do is bespoke. It's not the same colour, it's not the same tracksuit someone has, just in a different colour. And the cost of living crisis at the minute, we're a lot cheaper than the bigger brands. So look, that's the sell over. If you'll see our details everywhere. If you feel like giving us a shout, we'll more than happy to talk to you. But in regards to the league, we're not just in the sponsors, we're not just going to put our name on the sleeve badges and leave it at that. We have a marketing team who we're trying to push the league as well. We'll do stuff with our own in conjunction with the league, as in a weekly player of the week, and we'll give prizes out to that player and just try and push the social media and push the league as much as we can, because like us, we feel we're underdogs in the business we're in. I'm sure you feel underdogs in the leagues that you're in, but I think we're a good fit, and we'll push as hard as we can to get more exposure to all the clubs, and we'll put a bit of money behind that too. So it's not just we'll take some out. We'll put more money in to make sure marketing is where it should be for this league.